explain later in the broadcast. But, Coach, they had a lead this year at the half at OU and at LSU.
Yeah, that's pause for concern. If you're Cal and you're the basketball coaching staff and players, that should get your attention.
So they know that Cal is coming in hungry, though. And Rick Cabrera in his second season on the bench at Northwestern State. We both had a chance to visit with him, and coach that is hoping to have this team turned around from the doldrums that they've been over the last couple of years.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He's been a lot of places.
And the three on the way and good. So Landon Jumawan able to get the bucket to get it going for Northwestern State.
Yeah, and here's that extended pressure. They want to try to get some time off the clock, make the Cal Bears operate on a shorter clock.
Strip to the basketball, and Northwestern State comes out of there with it. John Sanders with the dish, and good defense at the rim. How about the pressure by Stojakovic to follow that play? And the rebound tapped out of bounds. It will stay with Cal. And how about, we talked about Stojakovic's offense. He shows the defense.
I mentioned it for a reason, Dave. He's led their team almost in blocks as a guard, and he avoids the contact, avoids the body, but great job of blocking shots and keeping the ball in play. And then here we go in the other direction.
Blackshirt dishes for Petritis. And the rebound controlled by Willie Williams. Northwestern State comes in on a 2-game win streak, including wins in their last 2 road games. Thomas underneath, contested shot goes in for Williams. One thing that you don't want to do is give Northwestern State a reason to think that they've got a chance to win this game today, Coach.
No, and Cal's been behind the last couple of games, and I think they've had to operate from behind. And one thing you do is you give your opponents confidence.
Stojakovic, no good. Second chance bucket goes out. Petritis with a third chance, able to cash it in.
And that's what Petritis does for his team. I can't tell you how many times this year he's kept the basketball alive and given his team a reload.
Petritis coming over in the offseason, transferring from Air Force. Jumawan gets tied up inside. Good hands by Ola-Joseph.
Well, that's really a good scrappy play. The Bears need that, Dave. They need to come up with as many possessions as they can. And as I mentioned, they dominate their opponents on the glass. So if you can just play good first shot defense and then just clean up on the glass, you're off to the races. You can see that you've got a matchup zone by the Demons. They're out there really playing a pretty good matchup. One on the ball, everybody else talking and not trying to put 2 on the ball.
And the active matchup zone forces the turnover as Colonel comes up with the basketball. And then Northwestern State gives it right back, the over and back. But the matchup zone, Rick Cabrera did tell us that's something that he will definitely mix in today.
Well, and it's smart when you're playing against the Bears. Sometimes leaving your better and bigger players at the rim is a good idea. Cal can really crash you and hurt you on the glass. So it's not surprising to see a lot of teams elect to play a zone against the Bears.
The dribble drive and one opportunity for Blackshirt. And the Bears with an opportunity to tie this game with the old school 3-point play.
Well, Dave, look at this scheme, and this is something designed by the Cal coaches. They put the smallest player on the floor in the high post. Now, not many teams do that. Why? Because there's no help side. You are in the middle of the floor, everybody one pass away, and he just attacks you off the dribble. Too good.
That foul on Jared Colonel, and by the way, keep an eye on Colonel. If they can get him in foul trouble, that'd be big, because he's tied for 5th in all of college basketball in blocks per game, coming in at 3 per contest. The 3 try is short. Colonel right on cue with the second chance, can't get it to go. Petritis throws it right back to Colonel. And then the little floater inside, touches every part of the rim, but finally goes through for Micah Thomas.
Well, that's what Cal's got to do now, is get on the glass. They can't give up second chance opportunities. There's the matchup zone again. They're talking, communicating, one on the ball. Cal's going to elect to try to screen, see if they can get some mismatches off the screen. And that's a mismatch.
It's a little bit too much space for Sanders.
No, that's just, you can't guard that. If you're a big guy and your black shirt's on you, he'll put you on roller skates. So he retreat, now he gets the open shot.
And now the other way, the travel. So a couple of miscues now by Northwestern, one on defense, one on offense.
Dave, keep your eye on Cal and their bench and their rotations. You know, the good news is they've got a really good long bench where they can play a lot of guys. Sometimes the chemistry is an issue, but they really can put fresh guys on the floor, and they're going to continue to go to their bench and try to keep the intensity up.
Yeah, Mark Matson's roster is longer than Santa's naughty list. Tied up inside. And you see the frustration by Ola-Joseph, not happy that he let himself get tied up. That'll take us to a timeout, a tight one early on. And how about the Cal Bears ending a 12-game losing skid in the series to Stanford?
Great win for Sharman Smith, who played there at Stanford and coached. Great win. They dominated, and that doesn't happen in that series. They not only won, but they dominated. And you had the game last night.
Yeah, it was a 20-point win. They hit 18 threes, Coach, setting the school record for threes in a game.
Yeah, I'd love to coach in those games.
Yeah, for sure. Everything's going in. Speaking of everything going in, J.T. Warren comes in to the lineup and knocks down his first three.
Well, Northwestern State very confident. They've played big-time teams in their gyms, and they're really confident right now, as evidenced by their start.
Wilkinson, the feed for Ola-Joseph, and he gets fouled. And if that foul's on Colonel, and I believe it is, and it is indeed, that's going to be 2 on him.
That is, and look at the range. You know, the Northwestern State, their ability to knock down shots. They're knocking down 33% of the year, but they look pretty comfortable. You know, if you're the Cal Bears, the one guy that's really been giving you a lift lately is Joshua Ola-Joseph. He had a phenomenal game. I think 13 first-half points, just really nailing his three-point shooting now.
Because the one thing, if you're an opponent coming in to play Cal right now, you've got to feel like you're going to get good shots. If you look at effective field goal percentage, which counts 2s and 3s, only 3 teams, only 3 in all of NCAA basketball are allowing their opponents to shoot at a higher rate.
Well, those are stats, and I believe in stats, David. I also believe from watching Cal, they're capable of being a very good defensive team, and Mark Matson and his staff has addressed that, and they're going to continue to address it. But they've got some really good defenders on this team. It's just a matter of putting it together, and that takes time. When you have a lot of new players, it takes time to meld, and your chemistry sometimes is off to start the season.
Addison Patterson. An offensive foul is going to be called. The clear out by J.C. Riley Jr.
But, you know, you bring up a great point about defense, offensive efficiency. And here's a replay. You can see here's the illegal screen. Wasn't set, but, you know, most teams talk about, most analytics, everybody talks about offensive efficiency. There's also a defensive efficiency, and I think you brought up a great stat, something that if you're a coach, you can address.
Ola-Joseph. Cabrera not happy with that call, as the call's going to go against Mitch Williams.
Well, I like the scheme so far from Cal, Dave. What they're doing is they're putting their best scorers in the high post, and they're just simply saying, you're going to have to guard us, stop us with 2 guys, we'll find an open man. But they're really, you know, most teams have trouble with one-on-one players at the top.
Ola-Joseph sees an opening, gets stripped from behind by Thomas. The Demons looking to add to their modest lead. And this has been the problem for Cal. They've trailed double digits at the half the last couple of games against Stanford and Cornell.
Yeah, good news is they've come back in both, but that's not what you want to do, have a steady diet of that.
Contested shot by Addison Patterson, and the rebound is cleared by the Bears. Reach and foul by Patterson.
Cal's got an advantage. If they can go up and climb the glass, Dave, and get some breakout baskets, they've been at their best when they've rebounded. They've gotten clean rebounds, and they've pushed. They've got some great guys in transition, and you've got to take advantage of teams, quick teams like that are trying to be pesky, get offensive rebounds.
One of the other things Cal has done well, Coach, and you know this, they've gotten to the free throw line, and Northwestern State's already got 5 personals. They've only got 1 more to give before Cal starts shooting free throws.
No, that's not a fluke. Cal's been dominating their opponents by getting to the line more. And as the season goes on, they're going to have to really lean on that stat.
Wilkinson for Blacksher. The feed inside, and a nice finish by Dort.
Well, Dort with the finish, but how dangerous is Javon Blackshear? When he's healthy, and he's getting his health back now, and he's been resting a few games, he is a nightmare to guard. He's so quick, and he gets into the paint, now he distributes.
You mentioned health, though. We should mention no Campbell today, and B.J. Omat still out for the Bears as well.
Yeah, two big losses because those are two of their best defenders.
Patterson nearly lost it. It goes right into the hands of Sanders. Can't get it to go. Second chance try and foul call. It'll be the first foul of the game going against the Bears.
But watch Blackshear. We talked about him, Dave. He's so quick off the dribble. He's got the crossover, he got the split, avoids contact, and he finds his big fella Lee Dort at the rim. Really a nightmare if you're trying to guard the Bears. You're going to have to try to find and devise a way to stop Blackshear. He's that good with the basketball. He was a very successful player at Grand Canyon, taking his team deep in the tournament last year.
Substitutions coming on here for Cal as Christian Tucker will check in for the first time this afternoon. So Blackshear will get a breather. Patterson able to knock down the free throw. 1 or 2 at the line for him. Deep three for Wilkinson. That won't fall. And this is the key. Rick Cabrera said, he said his team's got to play D and get stops. They got to have one and dones, and they get one there, but then they give it right back by dragging the pivot foot in the travel.
Yeah, they've hurt themselves with some early turnovers against the Bears. Bears fortunate, but you know, the Bear team that's in the lineup right now, they've got some pretty good ball handlers. They've got some guys to attack. So they've got to get back on the board here and try to regain this lead.
Wilkinson for Petritis. Back to Wilkinson. Oh, how about that move? Doesn't get the finish, but the offensive rebound controlled by Dort, and then a whistle. And the foul is going to go on Riley.
Dave, if you're a chart or a statistic guy, chart how many times Cal gets both feet in the paint offensively. They've got guys that can attack at will. And now that makes the defense collapse, and now their big guys are on the glass for either offensive rebounds or dishes. It's a pretty good stat to chart if you're interested in offensive analytics.
Tucker. For Petritis. Shot clock down to 7. Petritis finds his way to the basket and finds his way to the free throw line in the process.
And not a lot there at the end of the clock, but when the Bears need it, they have some guys that can finish at the rim, and they're not afraid to put the ball down and get there. But this is what they do. They get to the free throw line. Sometimes it's not a pretty basketball, but you don't care about aesthetics, Dave. Just get me to the free throw line, and as you mentioned, get some guys in foul trouble, get in the bonus, and chip away.
Yeah, that foul going on Ledo Laku. And already 7 fouls, so they're going to spend a lot of time at the free throw line here. And Addison Patterson will check out now for the Wildcats.
But, you know, the advantage of depth, Dave, is that you've got the ability to kind of over a long period of time wear down your opponents. And that's what Cal can do if they utilize their deep bench.
Reach and foul here by Christian Tucker. Cal, on the other hand, they've been good so far. That's only the second whistle of the game against them.
Well, they're trying to pick up the aggression. Christian Tucker was a standout player at UTSA last year, and he's a good player. You know, he's playing aggressively, and that's okay to get some aggressive fouls early.
A nice step back for the finish for Sanders. First points of the game for Sanders.
Yeah, he's a player. He can score.
He's been their most consistent player, according to Coach Cabrera.
How about 96 from the line and 44 from 3?
Tucker on the other end off the heel. Rebound by Stojakovic, whose dad is in attendance today.
Yeah, Peja is a pretty tough competitor himself, and he's a pretty tough dad. He's been tough on his son, but you wonder why his son's a pretty good player. He's got a pretty good dad for a role model.
This could be an A-list crowd here today because Jason Kidd's AAU tournament is taking place later today here at Haas Pavilion. And the Mavs just so happen to be playing the Warriors tomorrow. The drive and the foul. I'll tell you what, that looked like pretty good verticality by Dort, but he's still going to get called for the whistle. And that's going to take us to the under 12 timeout. 1-point game right now here in Berkeley. The Bears and the Demons in a good one.
The guy, he told me if I talk to his son a little bit and help him to get a little more aggressive, he said he'll counsel my son, who promptly lost his driving license. I took it away from him the other day because he didn't follow some rules. So Peja, maybe he'll listen to you. So we got a thing going on here, family fair.
That's scary news because I've got a 16-year-old who's getting his driver's permit right now.
Get tough on him. They want to drive that car, but no. But Peja's dad, obviously his career, marked for itself, speaks for itself. But he's been instrumental in his son's career, and he's got pedigree, that's for sure.
And beloved, of course, in nearby Sacramento. Beautiful find underneath, but a better block.
Yeah, when you got your jersey hanging up in the rafters, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no doubt. Northwestern State hanging around, looking to go back in front. They've had a modest lead most of this game. Sanders gets the screen and then gets the foul as he drives inside. That's going to be on Dort. And that'll be the second foul of the game on Dort.
Yeah, that's pretty good defense by Northwestern State. And then they're coming back the other way and driving it. Cal does a really good job if they can just avoid the body contact. They've got guys that can block the shot. You know what, Dave? They also have guys that can alter your shot. So many times shot blockers think they got to block shots. If they'll just go up and avoid contact defensively, they can get guys to alter their shots. And they've been at their best when they've done that.
Well, Laku playing in his 8th game this season. He's been a presence. 7 feet, that's tough to get around. First free throw, no good. Northwestern State has left a couple of points already at the line here this afternoon. Sanders able to knock down that one. And that was, you mentioned the free throw percentage for Sanders. He came into this game, hadn't only missed one in the entire season.
Yep, that's pretty darn good. Now you see Northwestern State going from the zone back to matchup, and now they're man-to-man pretty much.
Mahoney gives it up for Wilkinson. Oh, what a spin by Wilkinson, and the finish.
Now you see him, now you don't, Dave, and that's what he does. He's so good at sleight of hand, change of direction. So hard to guard one-on-one.
Wilkinson slips. Sanders. Northwestern State nearly turns it over. And now the drive by Sanders, and he'll draw the foul by Wilkinson. That's going to be foul number 2 on Wilkinson.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but watch his array of moves. There's this crossover, the spin, and I mean, he can use either hand. Dave, I just know how you keep a guy like Jeremiah Wilkinson in front of you. As a coach, you say, keep in front. But one-on-one, that's an impossible task. He's that talented.
And how about the fact that he's still only 18 years old? He's not going to turn 19 until March. Quick pass inside, and Jumawan able to get the bucket.
That's off a double team. I like the double team onto the timeout. You go to the coffin corner. You got to try to make that a slow pass or a deflection. But Cal did a good job of trapping, just didn't rotate out.
Petritis travel with the basketball, so goes right back over to Northwestern State.
Cal just searching for a rotation, Dave, and there's 2 rotations, 2 ways you look at it. You can search for a defensive rotation that gets you guys going and get your team going, and also an offense. They're just trying to get the right blend of guys. They've got a very deep bench, but they're trying to get their guys to go and just coordinate, complement each other.
Yeah, but it is tough when you're missing 2 of your keys, as we mentioned, with Omat and Campbell.
Those 2 guys are stellar defensive players, and believe me, if you haven't seen them play, they can dominate defensively.
Another bucket for Northwestern State to get the lead back to 3. Blacksher stripped of the basketball from behind by Bettis. And Bettis with an and one. Petritis goes up and gets him with the body. Petritis doesn't like the call, but he got him with the body coach, and Northwestern State looking to expand the lead.
Watch the strip, and now the and one, you get detritus. You know he's on your hip, and you just lean in, and you get the contact. But look at the steal. That's highway robbery, and you're going the other direction. Now you got Cal's best defender there, who again just manages to bump bodies instead of just make them go over the top. And you know, that's really a hard thing to do, Dave, when you're teaching defenses, to just play without getting your body. Cal does a good job challenging shots, but they got to keep their bodies out of the mix.
Man, you saw the season numbers there for Love Bettis. He's a guy who won a national title at the JUCO level.
Oh, he's a great player. Now you see again Northwestern State, they're going to match up here. Now they're going to switch and play their matchup zone, man in their area.
Stojakovic changes direction after faking the pass, and he'll draw the whistle.
And Dave, that's what he does. I mean, when the Bears get in trouble, it's just it's a constant. You'll see Stojakovic really with the ball in his hands, and he's confident he can get to the rim or draw a foul. He may be one of the more improved players in this country. You look at his stats from last year at Stanford to what he's done for the Bears this year. It's night and day.
He certainly looks comfortable. That free throw ends a 7-0 Demons run. Converts both.
Well, Cal right now has their best, really, they're probably their best offensive lineup minus Wilkinson. You put Wilkinson on the floor, now you've got the best 5 offensive players. But Cal definitely wants to get on the board, but they're going to have to now find a way to stop this pesky team on the defensive end.
Andrej Stojackovic checks back in out of the timeout, or the stoppage. Kick ball here as Blacksher got his foot on it.
And Mark Madsen's applauding his team. He likes the effort. He likes, you know, whether it's a kick ball or deflection, those are good stats. Anytime you can get your foot or hand, anything on the ball, you're digging, you're playing. Mark Madsen, no secret to success. He's been a winner at every level he's played on and coached at.
He's got the hardware to show it, that's for sure. Bettis pulls up on the baseline, a little bit too strong. Detritus able to come down with the rebound. Stojakovic fakes the pass and then drives to the rack.
Not too easy. You can't give him any lane because he'll get there and he'll finish over the top or through you.
Just like that, Cal has it back to a 2-point game. Bettis gets the screen, gives it up for Patterson. Keeping the dribble alive. Spins and fires, no. Ball knocks back into Patterson's hands, and he's able to convert.
Well, Johnny on the spot. I mean, that was unfortunate for Cal, but the ball got popped loose and right into the Northwestern State player's hands. Now, if you're Cal, you got to just, you got to answer. You can't allow this lead to grow.
7 second chance points in this game for Northwestern State. And that's going to drive Mark Madsen nuts, giving up that many second chance points to this team. Part of the reason why they have the lead with just over 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. It's the Demons up by 4.
Also exciting time for the Bears. Cal Bears, Justin Wilcox taking his team to the LA Bowl against Nevada. It should be fun.
Stojakovic. Cross court for Detritus. Shot clock down to 5. Blacksher looks up at it, recognizes, pulls up at the elbow and connects.
Dave, they have that. The Bears have that, and a lot of teams don't. They can make plays at the end of a shot clock and manufacture a shot.
Half dozen in the game for him. That's tied for the high for either squad. Bettis draws a double team and able to thread the needle to Warren for the finish.
Great look. I mean, that's just a good job keeping your head up and finding your own teammate at the rim. Nice job.
Northwestern State is shooting 56% in this game. Stojakovic finishes through some contact. Looked like he got hit a couple of times. No whistle, but he'll take the bucket.
He got bumped on the way to the basket, and as he goes up, sometimes you're a victim of your own strength and size, but they said play on, but he says no problem.
Williams for Bettis. Pettis. Acrobatic shot. No, how did he come down with that rebound? Smallest player on the floor, and then he throws it away.
Yeah, I just got a little excited there, but you know, you're Cal Bears. You've got to go back and be thankful. You've got a Andrej Stojackovic who just gets to the rim, bump, 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 score.
They're not even trying to hide Bud Pettis' height on the roster. They got him at 5'11". A lot of times they'll bump up a guy to 6 feet, but they got him at 5'11".
If that. And back to the matchup.
Bears chance to tie it or go in front with a three. Ola-Joseph stripped to the basketball. Last touched, and you saw a great job by the officiating there as Greg Nixon put his hands in the air and said, I didn't see it.
Well, I love that. I like an official that says, I need some help, but there's a strip. Good job. You know, Northwestern State's been really active, and that's the right call, but they've been very active defensively with their hands. How about Stojakovic, Dave, to sneak into the basket, and boy, is Rick Cabrera's as mad as I've seen him. Like, that's just a no-no. You don't give up a basket at the rim under your own.
Yeah, just way too easy for the Cal Bears, but the Bears fans liking it as they finally have tied the game at 26. Well, Northwestern State coach Rick Cabrera instantly called timeout after that. He cannot give Cal those kind of opportunities.
No, that wasn't a strategy session, by the way, Dave. That was a butt chewing.
Stojakovic, 8 of his 10 points have come in the last 3 minutes. JT Warren. Jumawan comes over to get the basketball and then takes the three. And the rebound is controlled by Sissoko.
Well, that's good defense by Cal. Challenge shot and a clean rebound.
Stojakovic, great find. Ola-Joseph makes it count.
And he has been making it count, Dave. He's been on fire the last few games for Cal with the hot hand again early.
And the Bears with a 3-point advantage. Pettis crosses over against Petritis. Shot clock at 3, and a travel by JT Warren.
Now, 2 really good defensive possessions, but watch Stojakovic with the fine dead corner. That's what you do. You spot up in the corner when you're penetrating. All the defense is helping to the middle of the floor. The corners are your best friend, and Ola-Joseph knows what to do.
Bears are on a 7-0 run. This modest 3-point lead is their largest of the game. And, Coach, they've made their last 6 shot attempts.
Well, funny how it works. They've also gotten some stops. So playing some good defense, it tends to let you play a little better offensively. Players sometimes get amnesia, forget that. But coaches are reminding them, I'm certain of that.
Stojakovic has been the driving force. And he'll draw the foul there.
I like that, Dave. The driving force.
Yeah, on the drive.
On the drive.
With some force.
I like it. But that's been the recipe for success. When in doubt, if they're playing in the passing lanes, you've got openings. So they're playing tough on the screen. There's one bump, no call. There's another. And, that was going to be a wide open shot if there's no foul call. But Stojakovic able to make plays for his team.
9th foul, so still a 1-and-1 situation here. Stojakovic doesn't care. He'll take both free throws.
Imagine playing for a Hall of Famer, a college player in Mark Madsen, then you play for a player that played on a world championship with the Lakers, and then you have your dad, Peja. You've got some pretty good coaches around you, Dave, to push you a little bit. And, I really respect that. Andre's improved. He's just gotten better since last year. I think the sky's the limit. I think he's going to improve even more as his career goes on.
And I'm sure he's met a few other names along the way, Coach.
Well, but yeah, like Mike Montgomery, was coaching Stanford, and he coached Mark Madsen. And boy, did Mark Madsen has some good years to coach Mike Montgomery, because I coach against those teams. No fun.
12 years you were matching wits with the other Pac-12, Pac-10 back then coaches. Bettis able to kiss it off the glass and in.
One thing I can tell you, when you have good players, you're a pretty good coach.
Well, that means you're a good recruiter, though.
Yeah, we had pretty good players and some good coaches.
Stojakovic to three, and he's going to go to the line for three.
No, and Rick Cabrera again is saying, why? Why give up the three-point penalty? Oh, that's a no-no.
Gets absolutely bowled over by Dante Walker. Free throws coming up after the timeout here in Berkeley.
On the help line, but you can't give up direct line penetration, and I'm sure Rick Cabrera is talking about that, because that's what happens.
Ola-Joseph happy to be that wide open. His 9th three of the season. Stojakovic had a lot of time to think about these free throws.
And he's happy to be up there for three too, because nothing's come easy for the Bears, but you give the Bears three free throws, you give Stojakovic three, and he knows what to do. But a good timeout, an opportunity timeout for Rick Cabrera to talk to his guys defensively, and for the Cal Bears now to reload and see if they can get going.
Stojakovic 2 out of 3. Second missed free throw today for Cal. They're 9 of 11 at the line. Corner 3 for the Demons won't fall. Bettis left it just a little bit short. Sissoko with the board. Here come the Bears. Ola-Joseph doesn't waste any time. Petritis comes up with an offensive board, and he'll get himself a trip to the free throw line.
I really love Ritas Petritis, because when you think the Bears have emptied their possession, he's the one guy that just finds a way to slither, get his hands on the ball. So many times he gets offensive tips and rebounds and steals. I mean, a ton of steals on the year, but watch him fly in there, just poke the ball. You want to tip the ball offensively, and he does that. Defensively, you don't want to tip the ball. You want to grab it too, but offensively, just tip it and get opportunities. He's given his team now a second chance opportunity.
Petritis has not been stellar at the free throw line, 66% on the season, and he bricks them both.
Yeah, that's he's a competitor, but he's got to get those percentages up.
Sanders. And now Bettis. Nice bounce pass inside for Williams. And then Williams even better with the finish.
Yeah, I don't know how he got that up over a taller defender. He put it in his left hand and just really scooped up a hook shot.
That was a shot that'll win you a game in horse.
That's how you play your older brother or your dad.
Stojakovic left all alone, and that's a mistake defensively by the Demons.
Speaking of playing against your dad, that's the one shot you might be able to get away with. That's a great look by Andrej Stojackovic from deep.
He's up to 16 points in the game. Season and career high for him is 26, so keep that in the back of your mind. Sissoko comes up with the defensive board, and here come the Bears looking to add to the lead. Sissoko leaves it well short. Rubiru for Bettis. Bettis will take it, a little bit too strong. And the shooting percentages for Northwestern State starting to drop a little bit, much to the delight of the Bears. Wide open three, it won't fall, and the rebound is controlled by Sanders. Blackshear would like to have that one back, no doubt. And poked out of bounds, we'll keep it on this end.
Well, how about the range again of Andrej Stojackovic? I mean, he steps back, you can't leave him loose. He's feeling really confident in his shot. You know he can drive it, but now he's knocking down that shot with ease. Bears kind of zoning it up from the inside. They're playing inside out underneath, not going to give you anything to the rim. They could throw out deep if they can.
Oh, what a pass. No finish by Warren. Second chance try won't go. And Petritis makes sure there won't be a third chance try. Dives into the front row. Blacksher for Ola-Joseph. He can't get it to drop, and it's gotten wild all of a sudden here. Bettis, the Euro step around Petritis, and last touched by the Demons.
Well, watch Petritis. I mean, he always has his hands on the ball. He saves it before it goes out of bounds, gives his team another possession, stands deep, doesn't have any contact, and now causes a block, and we're going the other way. That's a huge possession. You don't want Northwestern State to get in there and tie the game or keep it close if you can.
Such a big addition during the offseason out of the transfer portal.
He had a great career at Air Force.
Does he still have to do his obligation to the academy? I'm guessing yes.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's having it. He gets up early, I promise you that.
Blacksher. And the rebound controlled by the Demons.
They could do 2 for 1 if they want.
Trying to get it back to a one-possession game. The three by Jumawan gets it to a 2-point game.
Well, you know the NBA, Dave. I know you know it well. That's an NBA move. You come down, you see if you can isolate, get a 2 for 1 quick shot. Now they'll get the ball back with a chance maybe to tie or take the lead if Cal can't score.
Only about a 1 second difference, so the Bears,
not much time.
Got the Bears, they're not going to worry about the time. Stojakovic is just going to go. Offensive rebound by Blacksher. Petritis wide open, look at the three, that won't fall. And we got a whistle underneath. And the foul's going to go against the Demons.
Yeah, you're right about that. I got excited here at 2 for 1. I said, wait a minute. But there was a 1 second differential. But now, if you're the Demons, you will get the ball back, but you're going to have to endure some free throws from the Bears. And Greg Nixon, veteran official, talking to Rick Cabrera, just explaining a few things here.
Yeah, the foul goes on Leku, his first.
Well, they're going to verify. They're going to go to the monitor. And Mark Madsen will take advantage of this and call a on-the-floor timeout, won't sit down. You know, people ask all the time, Dave, what about the monitor? I think it's a good thing for college basketball. Does it delay the game? Yes. Does it get the call right? Keep the right guy, you know, from going out of the game with the inadvertent foul or wrong foul? Yes, so I like it.
Yeah, it's tough to streamline it at this level the way they've streamlined it, not only in the NBA, but in all the pro leagues, because they're able to have a central area where they can have a team reviewing it. But because there's so many games and all the buildings aren't necessarily wired to be able to send it back to a central area, it's different. So it takes a little bit longer sometimes in the college game.
That was pretty quick. Cal Bears getting it right here, their administrative staff.
And Sissoko knocks down the free throw.
Now, if you're Cal here, you want to try to get the stock going into the locker room as a momentum builder. You don't want to give up on a short clock, 7 seconds. They got to be able to extend.
And the possession arrow does favor the Bears, by the way, so they'll get the ball first out of the locker room. Still time, and the block is going to make sure that there are no more points for the Demons. Great work at the rim by Cal.
Yeah, I did it.
It's a season, so we'll see whether or not Colonel can avoid foul trouble. He's going to start the second half. He sat on the bench the entire time with those 2 personals.
Right, well, that's important. You know, you want to play aggressive and not worry about fouls, but you got to make sure you keep yourself in the game.
Northwestern State coming out of the locker room active defensively, no doubt, trying to see if they could steal one. This would be a signature win for them.
Well, speaking of stealing, Rita Petritis gave me a fist bump. I had to make sure my hand's still right. He'll steal anything from you. He's such a good defender. But this is really important for the first few minutes for Cal.
Blacksher pulls up, can't get it to go. Sissoko taps it, so Petritis able to get it.
Yeah, they're doubling now. They're trying to double off the zone in the corners.
Stojakovic, and there's a block inside by Colonel, but the Bears able to keep possession. And now we're going to get a whistle.
You see the size, advantage for Cal. I mean, Northwestern State having a difficult time keeping the Bears off the offensive glass.
But how about that? Just like that, Gerald Colonel picked up his 3rd foul, Coach. That's not good news for Northwestern State. Great news for the Bears. Open look, and Ola-Joseph knocks it down.
Well, there's the one guy you don't want to give an open look to if you're playing against the Bears. Ola-Joseph's just been on fire. He's been really on top of his game from the 3-point line.
This marks the largest lead of the game for Cal. Blackshear's going to get called for a little bump here.
Well, this is a good test for Cal, Dave. And what I mean by that is they've taken a lead. Mind you, it's only a 2-possession lead, a game and a lead. But at the same time, can they sustain it? Can they now play defense, get some stops, string some consecutive stops together, and see if they can put some more points on the board and stretch it to double figures?
First foul of the game on Blackshear. Sanders goes around the screen, pulls up for a long 2, and tough shot, knocks it down. But if you're Cal, you're more than happy to let a guy take a long 2.
Well, he's been pretty, he's been pretty quiet now. He's been their best scorer, and he's only had 2 points to this point. So Cal's done a good job on him. He's got to step up for the Demons.
Stojakovic has stepped up all afternoon. First points of the second half for him.
Yeah, he's stepping up. He's stepping by. He's going by guys left and right. Really a difficult cover.
He's up to 18. Thomas changes direction. Sanders feeds it for Colonel. Can't get the push shot to go. And here come the Bears again. Stojakovic just flips it for Petrides, and he'll say, okay, I'll give you a dime.
Well, the Bears, you can see now, they've got a little bit of a smile on their face. You see the quick timeout. You haven't seen that in a while. But the Cal Bears, a happy Cal Bear team, leading, taking the lead out to 9.
Their fans are happy to see the smiles return here in Berkeley. 9-point lead for Cal on their home floor.
At her share. So, yeah, it's a great promotion and get some folks to the game.
Out of the timeout, Cal trying to get a stop and see if they can get a double-digit advantage. Thomas had to pick up the dribble. Still plenty of time. Baseline jumper is contested. Good job by Ola-Joseph to get a hand in the face there of Sanders.
Yeah, that's a very good possession defensively for Cal coming out of that timeout. That's how you play defense.
And now they do have a chance to get a double-digit margin for the first time today. Nearly turned it over. Stojakovic a 3, drills it.
Well, Mark Madsen's happy with the 3, but he's trying to make sure his guys get back defensively and don't relax. They've given up some leads. He wants to see this intensity continue on the defensive end.
Stojakovic 21 now in the game. In fact, Stojakovic is the only double-digit scorer for either team this afternoon. Point blank missed by Colonel. Couldn't get the second chance to go. Sanders able to track down the loose ball. Thomas steps back into the corner, misfires, but the change is picked up and deposited by Willie Williams.
Yeah, it's hard to play that. You know, you don't really play for missed shot air balls. You try to figure they're going to come out 75% of the time on the opposite end.
Stojakovic has had himself an afternoon, nearly lost it, finds Petrides, leaves it short. Jumawan dives to the floor and finally gets tied up. And the possession arrow favors Northwestern State. Petrides has been a big part of it today, but it's been Stojakovic who's been the star. And the Cal Bears leading this one by 10 early in the second half. and after the games.
Dave, holidays, good time to be a sports fan, isn't it?
No doubt.
No shortage of games, football, women's basketball, men's basketball. It's just been day after day. So get off the couch, though. Kind of walk a little bit.
I'll even occasionally stop on a hockey game, Coach.
No, there's no question about that.
Out of the timeout at Northwestern State, they know this is a time they either get back in the game or it's going to be night-night. And Stojakovic trying to make it the ladder.
Speaking of ladder, he climbed one and he put the shot back on the in play.
Wilkinson open for three, can't connect. Colonel clears the rebound for the Demons.
Demons like to play fast. Cal doing a good job getting back in transition.
Pettis taking on a much bigger Dort. It's a bad decision.
Well, and that's a good job defensively. We talked about earlier, Dave, just affecting the shot. You have to block it. Just be there, make him shoot over you.
Stojakovic gets to the rack for two more.
I think you're going to see Peja smile. I said I think. I'm not sure. But his dad, I think, is up there. We're going to hopefully crack a smile because his son's putting on a clinic.
I think we're going to see his son get his career high. He's got 23. The career high is 26. Floater off the glass and good for Bettis.
That's what you have to do against the Bears. You have to pull up and take what they give you. You're not going to get all the way to the rim against some of their bigger guys inside. In Dort, Sissoko, it's just tough.
Only 6 points so far in this second half for the Demons. First ever meeting between these two schools. In fact, Cal hasn't played anybody out of the Southland Conference in 4 years. And how about that bucket?
Yeah, just great body control. Wilkinson does that. I mean, that's his strength. He's so good to the rim.
Sanders pulls up just beyond the elbow, high off the glass, and Stojakovic able to come up with the rebound.
Cal doing a good job of gang rebounding. I mean, they're playing much better defense, Dave. They're really putting their effort on the defensive end.
How about the stat line for Stojakovic, Coach? It's not only been the 23 points, but he's got 6 boards, 3 dimes, 2 blocks.
Yeah, no, he's got 12 blocks in the year. Pretty good for a guard.
Northwestern State the other way. This one in danger of getting away. Patterson draws a whistle. And a foul on the floor.
Well, you know, we talked about Andrej Stojackovic offensively, but look at the way he avoids contact with his body and blocks, and then he comes back on the other end. I mean, just his array of moves. His hesitation, slow to fast, fast to slow, spin moves. That's just really adept play with the ball.
Yeah, and handles a lot nicer than a lot of 6'7" guys can.
He can play point if he has to. I mean, it's not where you probably want him because he's such a good scorer, but he can handle the ball in direct traffic.
Patterson nearly lost it. And now another reach and foul on another drive by Patterson.
Well, that's the hardest thing to do, Dave, in basketball. I don't care what level you're at, college, pro, high school. Keep your opponent and keep the ball handler in front of you. You're one-on-one without help. It's just the offense is always at the advantage because they know where they want to go, and you got to play without your hands. You got to play with your feet.
And how about that? Cal just picked up their 3rd foul in a span of about 30 seconds.
Yeah, you know, if you're Mark Manson and you're the Cal staff, you're happy you're up double digits, but you also know you've given up some leads this year, so you want to close the deal. You don't want to allow this team to get back in the game.
Patterson, contested shot, Dort. And again, Coach, like you said, he's doing a great job in the paint, altering shots.
Well, and he does that. He's done that this year. I think it's just stat. You know, go back to the Bill Russell days, and you know he didn't always lead the league in block shots. I'm sure Will Chamberlain did, but I'll tell you what he did lead the league in, altered shots. And that's something that young players need to know. They can affect the game defensively by challenging and altering.
And turn down shots.
Yeah, exactly.
Patterson. Oh, that time Dort does come up with the block. And how about the extra effort? That was impressive by Mahoney as well.
Well, this is Cal basketball when they're playing at their best. I mean, they get to the rim. They've got some guys there. Dort does, again, a good job of avoiding body contact and just using his length to reject.
And Mahoney throwing it off to Demons to get the basketball for the Bears. Stojakovic draws some contact, and a little extra, and a technical foul's been called on Patterson.
Yeah, it was a little chippy. That's a good call by the officials, unnecessary. A little bit of frustration, and Rick Cabrera is making a quick sub. And, that's a frustration play. And, I mean, you're Andrej Stojackovic. You don't need to talk. Your game's done all the talking now. He's getting a couple guys frustrated, but that's how good he's been today. I think Andre might want to play some more early games. What do you think about that? Those 12 o'clock games, those early games, maybe that's been a good time for him.
Yeah, this is the earliest tip of the season for the Bears. They did have a 1 o'clock start earlier this year.
Well, it's something you haven't seen in a Cal a couple of games now, but you're seeing the Cal Bears not only playing well, but they're enjoying it. There's a little bit of a bounce their step. There's some smiles on the floor, and, deservedly so. They deserve it. They've earned it by the way they played.
Well, and you need some things to finally go right so the guys get that positive reinforcement, Coach.
Yeah, and it doesn't take a lot, but sometimes it feels like it takes a lot.
Dort trying to back his way in. Cross-court pass was dangerous. Mahoney throws it off the underside of the rim.
And his numbers now with Northwestern, they're 5 on 4.
Bettis finds the corner, and Jumawan able to cash it in.
Yeah, that's what happens when you lay down the other end. You don't get a call or you fall. And by Mahoney falling down, this is the wrong team to give up numbers to. They made you pay.
And he becomes the first double-digit scorer today for Northwestern. Stojakovic with the 3, and just like that, a new career high. How good is that?
Can you say he checked? Because that's what Andrej Stojackovic just did. He just said, I'm going to shoot this ball. I don't care how deep I am on the floor. I'm feeling it today.
28 in the game for Stojakovic. And the 3 triples matches his season high. Wild sequence going on right there, and the Bears finally come up with the basketball. They've got numbers. Wilkinson pulls up for 3 and drills it. And the Cal Bears finding their range. Back-to-back triples, and the Bears with their largest lead of the afternoon. Finally feeling a little breathing room here against the Northwestern Demons in Berkeley.
You forget, and you leave the guy with the best game does, Dave. You're trying so hard to stop the other team's best scorer, and you're forgetting about the best shooter on the floor. And Ola-Joseph has been the best shooter.
Well, Stojakovic, I mean, this is as close as you can get to a perfect game. Yeah, he's not been perfect in terms of shooting. He's missed a couple of shots, missed a couple of free throws. Wilkinson draws a foul. But, I mean, Coach, 9 of 13 from the field. 3 of 5 from the three-point line, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, and 27 minutes, and he's got goose eggs in 2 other important categories: no personals and no turnovers.
Now, I had a chance to talk with Andre before the game, and he said, "Hey, that's on me last game. I didn't come out aggressively." And I said, "All right, don't make me go to your dad now and have to get him in your ear." But he said right before the game. And I respect it. He said, look, I got to be aggressive, and I will be. And he has been. It starts with being aggressive. You can't achieve anything if you wait for the game to come to you. Dave, I know a lot of coaches, I used to do it, say, hey, don't press, let the game come to you. Sometimes if you're a good player, you got to take it to the game. And what he's done tonight, or to this afternoon, he's taken it to the game.
Well, and especially you got to do it, Coach, when you know you're playing, and no disrespect to Northwestern State, but on paper, an inferior opponent. They're a team that is, they can have their day. They've got some good players, but they're not as deep, and you want to take advantage of those opportunities.
No, and most teams, including Northwestern State, don't have an answer for a 6'7" guard that can elevate over the top. You can play strong through contact, and that's what Andrej can do. So he's just finding out really just exactly how good he is, and sometimes he forgets, but tonight he has not forgotten.
Throws across court for Wilkinson, who skies for the finish.
You forget about Jeremiah Wilkinson. There's a series of games, Dave. He had 3 consecutive 20, 22, 25-point games himself as a freshman, so he's a capable scorer.
Interior shot is good as Sanders adds to his point total. He goes into double figures with 10, the only Demon to get there so far.
Now, senior from Detroit shows you his capabilities. He's been somewhat quiet, but he's capable, and he will have a solid year for the Demons.
Yeah, and excuse me, Jumawan actually has 11, so he's in double figures as well. Mahoney rattles out.
You see Mark Madsen, he's not done coaching his team. He wants his team back in transition. They've given up leads this year. He wants to make sure that they don't get too happy with the lead. And, you know, Mark Madsen, if you know him, and I do, he was as aggressive a player as I've coached against, and he wants his team to stay aggressive defensively, sprint the floor, get back in transition.
How about the ups there, though? You love seeing that out of Wilkinson.
Yeah, he makes it look easy, Dave. I mean, he's so quick with the ball, and he can finish. He really gets to the rim and finishes over just about anybody.
Yeah, and you know what? He's not the tallest guy on the floor, but he can get up there with any of them. Sanders is rejected by Stojakovic, his 3rd block of the game. And then Stojakovic gets to the floor to tie up the basketball, but how about the activity by Andrej?
He's so active. Again, you know, you say, well, he's got this is a lucky game for him getting a couple of block shots. There's nothing lucky about what he's done. He came into the game in double-figure blocks with 10. So you add the 3 now, he's up to 13. He's blocking them at a rate, you know, as high as his big fellas on his team. And he's got some pretty good shot blockers on his team, but that's amazing. A guard with 13 blocks on the year.
He only had 4 blocks all of last year.
Yeah, that's an improvement. And I said that earlier, and I stand by it. He, to me, is, in my opinion, one of the top and one of the most improved players, not just that, you know, here in the Cal, but he's in the country. He's doubled his production, and he's just done everything offensively and defensively.
So he's got a career high in points, a career high in blocks, a season high in rebounds.
That's all?
That's all. And I'm checking to see the rebounds might be a career high. No, he's 1 off the career high for the rebounds.
I knew you weren't done.
Baseline drive, and another shot altered by Sissoko, but this time there's going to be a foul call.
You know, Dave, sometimes players just need opportunities, and here you can see the drive here. That's a good aggressive drive in here. I think the body, no question, there was a body contact. But, you know, players like Andrej Stojackovic, you know, sometimes they just need the opportunity. You know, now he's got the opportunity. His team needs him to step up. He's a much more aggressive player than he was a year ago, and you can see how it's paid off. Plus, let's not take this for granted. He's also had a really good summer behind him. The strength coaches here at Cal have done a good job with him. He's gotten himself stronger, bigger, and it's shown. He plays with a lot of strength.
Stojakovic takes a seat, and I'm 50-50 on whether or not we see him again. There's still 8 minutes and 20 seconds remaining.
Well, if Northwestern State makes any run, you'll see him.
Right.
And if they know about the career, they might. They might, you know, sometimes coaches like to get a curtain call there, but I think they also don't want to risk further injuries, but we'll see.
Well, and if Cal makes a run, then it goes the other way. Cal pushes this thing to 20 or plus, it's
in the books.
Petritis loses the basketball and then compounds it with the reach-in foul. That's going to take us to the under 8 timeout. So Northwestern State still battling. It's a 14-point game here in Berkeley. Stojakovic has literally done it all today. So if you're coaching him and you're trying to find something he needs to work on after you watch this one, what do you tell him?
Well, usually you tell your players to be unselfish. If I'm coaching him, I got to tell him, hey, continue doing what you do. We'll worry about getting your assist total up another game. But how good has he been? I mean, he's done it from everywhere. His ability to step back, knock down threes. You know he can drive, get to the foul line, get to the basket. Look what he's done. I mean, he's on his way to a 30-point game, and he's back in. If there's any question about whether he was going to come back in the game, Dave, he's in.
And by the way, the 3 assists he does have, they've been some pretty impressive finds. He's knocked them down.
He's an unselfish player, but he's on you to get 30. And, you know, if you're worrying about records, I know you've got some stats there about 30-point games and 40-point games, but he's on record to maybe attack those records.
Jumawan 1 for 2 at the line, and the Bears the lead 13. It's not quite put to bed yet, but it's, you know, it is getting dark out.
They're going to put the ball back in his hands. I think Northwestern State's face guarding him. They're pretty much playing a box, not a box, a man-to-man and one on him, just total face guard.
Ola-Joseph, no. The Demons with a rebound, still battling. Bettis.
Yeah, they're trying to play denial defense on Stojakovic, so.
Sanders, and that's a nice find by Sanders as he sets up JT Warren for the 3, and that's going to get Mark Madsen to say, all right, guys, hey, we're not done yet.
No, and that's a great timeout. You might say, why the quick timeout? Because they've been in this battle before like this, Dave. They don't want to see this lead disappear. They've worked too hard for it.
10, you know, not going to be a good afternoon.
Now, you know, and that's something that you just have to remind your players of, but it's the same team that got this lead. They just got to go back and regain it now.
They get into the hands of the hot man, Stojakovic. Wilkinson for 3, misfires. Petritis able to get the basketball knocked off of a Demon, but Northwestern State corrals it.
Well, if you're the Bears, you need to stop. You don't want this team, again, like you say, feeling good about themselves, getting it in single digits.
Jumawan. Bettis leans in, gets it back, shot clock down to 7. And the Bears do get an important stop. Blacksher for Wilkinson. And Petritis is going to draw contact as he puts it on the deck. Cal has not drawn as many fouls in this second half as they did in the first half. That's only the 5th personal of the half against Northwestern State.
Good point, Dave. They're usually in the bonus by then, but I do think their defense, that last possession was a start. An awfully good possession defensively.
Blacksher left all alone. Great action by the Bears to get him alone, and he'll cash in the corner 3.
Yeah, you kind of go to sleep on Blacksher, and you can't. He's too good a basketball player to allow him to get something easy.
Sanders a scoop, and how about the finish with authority at the rim by Laku.
I love John Sanders on his dish. He made the big fella go up in sky. Big basket by Northwestern State.
Wilkinson gets it back from Petritis. And then the reverse layup underneath. I'm not even sure he saw that go in.
No, that's crafty. I mean, that's what Dickens he does all the time. Jeremiah Wilkinson just really gets to the rim. He can go up and use the glass either hand.
And then he takes the basketball away from Bettis. He's got Sissoko with him, but he doesn't need him. He'll take it himself. And now it's Wilkinson who's been putting his fingerprints on the last couple of minutes.
Well, that's good to see. You don't want to rely on one player, and Stojakovic to carry you. Wilkinson now stepping up big time for the Bears.
And Blacksher, very active, trying to come up with a steal, knocks it out of bounds. And Mark Madsen has to love the way his team's responded after that timeout.
Well, they've done a good job, and you know they can score. They've got a myriad of guys that can get to the rim, score for you, but you like the defensive thievery over here. The quick hands. The Bears have a number of guys that just have awfully good and quick hands.
Wilkinson, 13 of his 15 have come in this second half. Sanders goes around to screen for a three, no. Sissoko able to corral the rebounds. Wilkinson loses the basketball. Wilkinson saying it was knocked out of bounds, but the officials disagree.
Well, he was trying to gather it to make a play. He knew he wasn't going to get to the rim. He was trying to just gather it and make a distribution, but couldn't do it. Good defense by Northwestern State.
Sanders into the corner for Thomas. Gets his own rebounds. Second chance attempt rattles out. And we'll get a whistle and a foul here on the floor is the call. So that's the 9th foul on Cal, and I believe he did call the foul as being on the floor, so it will be a 1-and-1 situation for the Demons.
Well, again, you don't want to stop the clock and allow the Demons to get back, you know, and continue to march the line, and now you're in double bonus the rest of the way. So you've really got to ask your team to play good defense. And you know, Cal's cut down their turnovers. They have 11 today. They had 18 in the last game against Cornell. So Cal got to take care of the basketball, do anything but turn it over, play ball security, and then rest on your defense. You know, you got to salt games away. People think you have to salt them away offensively, Dave. Defensively is the way you get it done.
Blacksher loses the basketball out of bounds, and Northwestern State will take it back.
That's uncharacteristic. Javon Blacksher pretty darn sure with the ball, but that shows you how aggressive this Demons team is. They really go out there and put pressure on them.
12th turnover of the game for the Bears. Open look for Jumawan, and he's able to knock down the triple. That's his 4th three of the game.
How about Northwestern State, Dave? They were kind of out of it. Well, look at the way they're playing, just the, you know, the ability to stay with it, not keep their heads down. They're still battling back. It's a good sign if you're a Demon player or coach.
Well, yeah, and you know, I mean, Coach, even if they're not able to come back here and get this victory as Stojakovic gets hit on his drive, a game like this gives you a lot to build on going into Southland Conference play.
No question. And if you're the Bears, you want something to build on too. You want to try to extend this lead and not allow these shots to put you back in the game. But remarkable performance. But he's given the Bears this type of leadership and presence. But for him to step up and do what he's done, still not quite enough. The Bears are going to need one final push to get this game and salt it away.
Are you going to be talking to him before every game the rest of the season?
That might not be a bad idea.
Wilkinson finds Stojakovic in the corner, and he's got his first career 30-plus point game, 31 now for Stojakovic.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pregame ritual now. There's no doubt. It paid off. I'm going to claim all credit for this.
It's his 4th made three of the game. He's just had career highs across the board. The three on the other end, though, by Bettis as Northwestern State continues to battle.
Well, if you're in the Southland Conference, you're watching this game. This is not a team I want to face. They are competitive, and their game, I mean, they've got some competitors. They get after you defensively. They don't go away.
Credit to their coach.
He's done a phenomenal job.
By the way, the 4th made three for Stojakovic ties his career high in that department. He gets tied up there, wanted a foul call. Here come the Demons the other way. And just like that, Northwestern State gets it back to 10.
Well, and Mark Madsen not going to call the timeout yet. He just burned one, but I can tell you if this thing dips, he will.
He's got 2 in his pocket. Northwestern State has 1 timeout remaining. Figure points here by Cal, and the win probability goes up exponentially. Shot clock down to 5. Stojakovic looking for his 4th dime. He's got his 4th dime! And he may have banged his knees. He's kind of holding his knee a little bit. He calls to the bench.
And what a great find, great pass. They double team. To his credit, the respect the other team has, the Demons, for him. They double team. They're not taking any chances, but he does what good players do. He found his teammate.
got a whistle, and now Stojakovic is he's gonna go over to the bench. I'm not sure if he banked knees, coach, but you can still see him. He's favoring that knee right now.
Well, you can see what he does. I mean, he gets open and he knocks down the three. There's no pain in the knee there.
Yeah, but it was after the dime. Watch while the camera shot goes away, so you don't really see what happens after.
There was a double team on it, and there was a bump.
Yeah, you know, and bumping knees, that is something that you'll feel that, but you'll also, more times than not, walk away from it okay.
Well, he's going to the bench, and what you know, I know he didn't want the rest right now, but he's getting one anyways. And trainer Barry Parsons will take a look at him, just make sure. And I think it was just a bump there, but unfortunate 2 missed free throws.
Jumawan trying to get it back to 10, can't. And there's a chance for the traditional three-point play as Willie Williams draws the foul.
Yeah, this again, you don't want to see this happen if you're the Bears. You don't mind them making a shot, but if you miss a shot, you don't want to give up an offensive rebound. Now a chance for a three-point play as the clock stops. But there's Stojakovic. I think he's, you know, he's going to be okay. I think he's still got a smile on his face. Of course, he's done a 30-piece, so he should. And his team's up, so I think he's going to enjoy this one.
Yeah, he's got a 31-piece.
31-piece, my bad.
It's the first 30-point game since Jalen Tyson had a 30-point game against Washington State last January. This is the most points in a game since Jordan Shepard had 33 back against Oregon.
Well, Cal's had some players that have gone and scored some points.
Yes, they have, and you know, I asked the fantastic SID Garrett Van Genderen about the history as we take another look. How about the ups there? And he said, I said, when was the last 40-point game? Because that's the way the game was going. And Leon Poe had a 41-point game. And you said Leon Poe had a 40-point game?
Yeah, I had that game. I remember telling him, probably mistakenly and ill-advisedly, telling him, Leon, look, you're getting double-teamed, you know, against Oregon. You got to pass the ball. He said, Coach, I'm getting double-teamed. I've never passed out of doubles. Now, if I get tripled, I'll pass the ball out of. I'm not a double-team. And he didn't. He went on to score 40. So sometimes players know more than the coaches.
I'm assuming you won that game.
Yeah, well, that's how tough. Yes, and that's how tough he was. He never bothered with a double-team. He said, but if I get tripled, Coach, I'll pass it. And 40 points, proof in the pudding. Hope he's watching tonight.
Yeah, he finished with 41, and that was on March 10th, 2006. So was that a culmination of the regular season game, or was that a tournament game?
Well, he's done some things. He's had some ridiculous numbers both in the season, out season, even in tournaments. 36 and 20 against USC in the tournament. And he's just, yeah, probably one of the all-time Bear greats. We're fortunate to recruit him, and a local product from Oakland.
Yeah. Bears get the stop and just about have closed the door here on Northwestern State.
Yeah.
Blackshear nearly got tied up and hits the corner for Ola-Joseph.
Yeah, the Bears have found something in Ola-Joseph. Joshua Ola-Joseph has been a dead eye. He has not slowed down. I was afraid to shake his hand in practice yesterday. They want to cool him off.
Long three off the front of the rim, and now the crowd's starting to know this one is going in the win column for the Bears. The 3-game losing skid is going to come to an end, Coach.
Now, and I hear the Bear territory. I know that song well, and when you win, there's no sweeter sound, but this is it. This is what the Bears play for. They appreciate their home crowd, but they've earned this one. They had to play against a pesky Northwestern State team, and they've earned this one.
Northwestern State did not go away easily. Wilkinson, the 3, and how about one more triple for good measure?
It's been infectious. It's gone from Stojakovic to Ola-Joseph to Wilkinson. They have just nailed their three-point shots tonight.
Here's a combo stat for you, Coach. That was the 12th made 3 of the game for the Cal men. The women made 18 last night, so Bears fans have seen 33s go in the last 24 hours in this building.
Yeah, but watch, I mean, they're just on fire here. There must be something about hospitalians because people like shooting threes. How about the women making 13 and a quarter? That's unheard of. You had the game. It must be something on the floor here, Dave. This must be an offensive floor.
Bettis at the free throw line, so Cal is going to improve to 7 and 4 on the season, and they'll get a little bit of time off now before taking on San Diego State next weekend down in San Jose.
Yeah, big game, and they got Clemson and Pitt on the road. It doesn't get any easier, but you know, this is right in the middle of finals. Fans forget this, viewers probably don't know this, but having coached here, you're at Cal, it's a little different. Players go through finals, Dave, it's a big deal, and Mark Madsen, having played at Stanford, knows the finals deal too, so he'll take this win. Players will go on and finish their finals, but you feel good about this kind of win. Mark Madsen congratulating Coach Cabrera, but it's a big win for Cal. They needed this win desperately.
84-66 the final here this afternoon, and Coach Mark,